Your life is not determined by what happens to you. Read that again. Your life is not determined by what happens to you. It is determined entirely by what you tell yourself about what happens to you. The story you construct, the meaning you assign, the lens through which you interpret every setback, every rejection, every failure, every unexpected turn that was not part of the plan. Two people can live through the exact same event and emerge from it as completely different human beings, one broken, one forged, and the only difference between them is the mindset they brought to it. That is not a motivational platitude, that is neuroscience, that is psychology, that is the documented, replicated, undeniable finding of decades of research into what actually separates the people who thrive under pressure from the people who collapse under it. And the finding is always the same. It is not talent, it is not resources, it is not circumstance, it is mindset. The operating system running beneath everything you do, every decision you make, every risk you take or avoid, every time you get back up or stay down. And here is the most important thing I will say today. Your mindset is not fixed. It is not a permanent feature of who you are, handed to you at birth and unchangeable from that point forward. It is a learned pattern, which means it can be unlearned. It can be rewired. It can be rebuilt from the ground up by anyone willing to do the work. And today, I am going to show you exactly how. Welcome to Motivation Daily. This is the one that changes everything. Let me tell you about Carol Dweck. She is a psychologist at Stanford University who spent decades studying why some people succeed in the face of adversity while others with equal or greater talent crumble. And what she found was so simple and so profound that it reframed the way the entire field of psychology thought about human potential. She found that people essentially operate from one of two mindsets: a fixed mindset, the belief that your qualities, your intelligence, your talent are carved in stone and cannot be fundamentally changed, and a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication, hard work, and the willingness to learn from failure. People with a fixed mindset avoid challenges because challenges risk exposing their limitations. They give up when things get hard because hard means they might not be talented enough. They see effort as a sign of weakness. If you were truly gifted, it would come easily. They ignore feedback because feedback threatens the story they tell themselves about who they are. And they feel threatened by other people's success because other people succeeding feels like evidence of their own inadequacy. People with a growth mindset do the opposite. They embrace challenges because challenges are where growth lives. They persist through difficulty because difficulty is the curriculum, not the obstacle. They see effort as the path to mastery. They absorb feedback because every piece of honest feedback is a tool for getting better. And they find inspiration in other people's success because success is proof that the thing they want is possible. Same world, completely different experience of it, and the difference is entirely in the operating system. Now let me make this real. Think about the last time you failed at something. Really sit with it for a moment. What was the story your mind immediately instructed? Was it, "This proves I am not capable of this"? Or was it, "This shows me exactly what I need to work on next"? Was it, "I should never have tried"? Or was it, "Now I know something I didn't know before"? Was it, "Everyone is going to think I'm a fool"? Or was it, "I just got one step closer to getting this right"? Those are not just different thoughts, they are different architectures of reality. One closes doors, the other opens them. One makes you smaller every time life gets hard, the other makes you larger. And here is the terrifying and liberating truth. You get to choose which one runs. Think about Michael Jordan. Cut from his high school basketball team, told he was not good enough. A fixed mindset would have made that the final word. It would have said, "See, I was right. I do not have what it takes. I should stop before I embarrass myself further." Instead, Jordan went home and cried. And then he used that rejection as fuel. He practiced with a ferocity that his teammates could not match. He developed an obsessive relationship with failure, not avoiding it, but mining it for everything it could teach him. He is famously quoted saying he has missed more than 9,000 shots in his career, lost almost 300 games, been trusted 26 times to take the game-winning shot and missed, and he credits every single one of those failures with making him the greatest who ever played the game. That is not natural talent. That is a growth mindset operating at its highest level.
Or think about someone you might not have heard of. A woman named Liz Murray. who grew up with two drug-addicted parents in the Bronx, New York. By the time she was 15, both parents were HIV positive, her mother had died, and Liz was homeless, sleeping in subway stations, eating from garbage bags, carrying her life in a backpack. By any external measure, the story was already written. The circumstances were already a verdict. But Liz Murray did not have a fixed mindset about her circumstances. She had a growth mindset about her potential. She enrolled in high school at 16, homeless, and graduated in 2 years. She applied to Harvard. She was accepted. She earned a full scholarship. She graduated from one of the most prestigious universities in the world, the same woman who had slept in subway stations a few years before. And she went on to write a memoir, give talks around the world, and build a life so full and so purposeful that it defies every statistical prediction that could have been made about her at 15. Liz Murray did not change her circumstances first and then develop a growth mindset. She developed a growth mindset and then changed her circumstances. That is the sequence. That is always the sequence. So here is what I want you to do starting right now. The next time something goes wrong, and something will go wrong because that is the nature of a life being actually lived, I want you to catch the story your mind starts to tell. Catch it before it calcifies into belief, and ask yourself one question: what can I learn from this, and how can I use it? Not, why does this always happen to me? Not, I knew I wasn't good enough. Not, what's the point? But what can I learn, and how can I use it? That shift, that single, deliberate, practiced shift in the question you ask, is the beginning of a completely different life. Not a perfect life, not a life without difficulty or failure or pain, but a life where difficulty makes you stronger instead of smaller, where failure teaches instead of defines, where every obstacle becomes the material out of which you build the next version of yourself. Your mindset is not your destiny, but it will become it if you let it run unchallenged. Challenge it today. Rewrite the operating system, and watch what your life becomes when you do. Share this with someone whose mindset is holding them back from the life they deserve. Subscribe to Motivation Daily. We show up every day to rewire the way you think. Drop a comment and tell me, what is one story you have been telling yourself that you are going to rewrite starting today? Name it. That awareness is the first act of change. Let's go.